Hey, Jay.
Hey, Keith.
I hate to be the one to break this to you, but automobiles are not human. They have no lineage or personality.
I wonder why I keep forgetting that.
So
it never gets old.
I mean, you know, the show itself, we're talking about Knight Rider, it was at times corny, you know.
Very.
You have to remember, like, as a child of that generation, there were basically 4 or 5 television networks, and it was pretty good. You know, it was one of the best shows that we had for a while. And how far-fetched, just like some of the Bond movies that I can't stop talking about, the technology of this seemed at the time in the 80s. Ooh, a car that can talk.
Right.
Ooh, a car that can drive itself for short periods of time. A car that had, vehicle awareness of oncoming other like those all seemed like never happened kind of scenarios, right?
Right.
And here we are. Did he later on? I think like one of the later seasons, like he got the watch where he could talk to the, you know.
Absolutely.
And we were like, come on, that'll never, you know.
That'll never happen.
Yeah.
But look, what do we have now?
And
what
basically, like later on, I want to say season 2, 3, whatever. It was essentially a toy hauler. They drove it into the back of the semi, and they had the mechanic bay in there and all that with Bonnie.
Yeah,
anyway.
I remember that.
Yeah,
yes.
right.
I remember that. Oh boy,
yeah.
humana.
Right. So
right.
Where were we, Jay? Anyway,
right. Yeah, baby. That's right.
This is news that's been out a while, but still, I'll bet you that a lot of you don't know this. And before we get to that, by the way, thank you for those of you that have subscribed. If you have not yet subscribed to our channel, please consider doing that. It helps us keep doing what we're doing. You need to be the one to say this because it's such a great. Go ahead. Yeah.
Well, look, guys, it's free to you, but it's priceless to us.
And
bottom line, man.
No truer words have ever been spoken.
Right. And we need it. We're making progress, and we're that close to our goal on subscribers.
Yeah.
So
Look at it this way, everybody. Google's going to run commercials on our videos whether or not they pay us.
Right.
Why not hit that subscribe button and then we get paid for it, right?
Absolutely.
So
and we get to keep doing what we're doing.
So they're going to most likely do another Knight Rider movie.
The rumors are out that's going to happen.
So the rights to do that were obtained by director James Wan, who did Furious 7, Fast and Furious franchise.
Yep.
And I just think this is fascinating because I feel like the time is right. We've come from, this is a fantasy to, this is kind of a reality now, but let's play now what kind of a fantasy can we add to it?
Exactly.
In terms of KITT, the car, which KITT stood for Knight Industries 2000, right?
Right, exactly. And what can it do?
And the big debate, of course, and because the car is going to have to be the star of the show. And see, this is interesting because you won't have the Hoff. They'll most likely not going to go back to Hasselhoff.
He was the best, though, man. You got to bring him in for a cameo of some sort.
Yeah, very few people have been able to co-star with an automobile and be equally as big.
Right.
And they did a remake. NBC picked it up. About a decade ago, and Val Kilmer famously voiced KITT. It was not bad. It was a Mustang.
Absolutely. Yeah, it didn't do. It wasn't as favorable to fans as they thought. But it was pulled, I think, after 17 episodes, maybe, or something.
Yeah, Hollywood has this problem of looking in the rearview mirror for ideas, and I'm not sure this is going to go well. But see, we've had all this industry change now with EVs and technology, and if you're going to do an action movie, a guy that does the Furious movies, has got the experience to do a car action movie.
Right. Yeah,
so,
why not?
So the big debate is, of course, Jay, go ahead.
Yeah, it is. Who's going to play KITT?
Well, you mean physically, not voiceover.
Exactly. Who's going to play KITT? Who is going to be the car? What? Here we are. We are now, and you spoke on a little bit about this as we got started here with this segment, that this was a Pontiac Trans Am that had been modified. It could think, talk, all these things in the mid-'80s. And now here we are in 2021, and we actually have vehicles that you have some autonomous functions going on. There's artificial intelligence going on. There is machine learning happening. So now the pool to pull from on what car, what make, and what model might best fit for this new reboot. What do you think?
I would love to hear in the comment section some ideas, because I guarantee you there's some of you out there that have some ideas that we haven't thought of, although Jay had some pretty good ones. Do you want to throw out the ones that you sort of said, hey, we should take this in an exotic hypercar kind of direction?
Yeah, I immediately thought, why not that the Countach, and we just did a video on that, not necessarily a review, but a reveal of it, and it has a super capacitor. It's a hybrid, very fast vehicle. I think that this needs to be a fast car for sure, just like the old Trans Am was. Then I thought, well, what about the Koenigsegg running on volcano fuel?
Yeah, which is another thing, and we've covered that. How might you find out that story or watch it or listen to it? 2 ways. Go to youtube.com/partscountergurus. If you're watching this video, you're already there. Hit the subscribe button, click the bell. You'll find our catalog, and it's in there, and it's in the title. We've podcasted. I think it was in a we covered it in a podcast as well.
Was, yes.
And you can find those on our website at partscounterguru.com. Now,
that's it.
I've got a counterpart to this, because I have to think, like, this is just how I roll, Jay. Like, I always am looking for alternate angles, and part of that is me going, where could the wheels come off this thing? What could possibly go wrong?
Right, right.
The baseball strategist in me, like, if I throw this pitcher, what's that guy? What's he going to bring up? He's gonna pinch hit for, whatever. Okay, so what's the old NASCAR saying? Winning on Sunday, selling on Monday. Right?
Yeah, pretty much. That's it.
So if you go hypercar, you're gonna lose the marketing element, and Hollywood, they love a good marketing deal, right? And ad placement and product placement and all that.
Absolutely. And
using a consumer automobile potentially, and I would hope they don't do this, but like a Camaro, which the Transformers did, or Mustang or whatever, that's going to sell some cars. Now, it didn't bother Miami Vice, because there ain't nobody going to go out there and buy a Testarossa that, most people don't have the cash for that.
Right.
So I don't know, man.
Yeah, that's a different situation. But, I think you're correct in that regard that if they're going to do this, there wants to be some marketing going on there.
Well, Director Juan's going to have to make a tough choice in,
He sure is.
If he wants to add some budget dollars to the movie, there could have to be a strategic partnership. But that pool is pretty small, right? I mean, how many really awesome muscle cars are there left?
Right. But you do have the fact that the new Nissan Z just came out. It's a little different. That might be a fashionable choice.
Now, you want to get super controversial, you make that a female voice of KITT.
Ooh, yeah.
That's a little sassy.
There you go. What about a Supra? A new Supra, which is actually a BMW.
So it's like got a German accent. Is that sort of?
Yes.
I mean,
that's funny, man. See, there you go. I mean, that's a thought too. So you got to pay attention. Think accent. Okay, here we go. I love this because we want you guys to definitely comment. I know Keith said this a minute ago. Like us, give us a thumbs up, and make sure you subscribe. And let's see where this goes, man. Let's get this thing rolling. We want you, our listeners, to comment and tell us what that next car should be, what it should be, and what should the voice sound like. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I can do that. What do you think?
I do. So here's a couple other significant details that I think might lend themselves to this working well. Mm-hmm. We'll see.
Right.
So a little bit of a video gamer, got that whole thing going on in my house. Ratchet and Clank, if you're familiar, that's kind of a famous video franchise line. So the script writer that they brought on to do this Knight Rider movie, whatever they're going to call it, was a video game writer from Ratchet and Clank. So potentially, it's always interesting to me when they use kind of that pop culture, kind of somebody that's got familiar with what works with kids.
Right.
Even though the kids that were playing Ratchet and Clank aren't kids anymore, but still, right? There's a little bit of a pop culture connection of a little bit more modern aspect. And then, let's see, they bought the rights to this in, what was it, last year, I think in 2020, if I'm not mistaken, is when they obtained the rights to do this.
I think so.
It usually takes a few years for things to get into production, so we're getting pretty close. And the other factor is, and the shortages and the shutdowns in manufacturing on the automotive side are certainly going to be a factor here. It's been rumored that GM's going to discontinue their Camaro in a year.
Right.
And they've already stopped production on it several times because of shortages.
Right.
It's not selling, because of that it hasn't been able to sell as well as they need it to.
Right.
It's not the first time they've discontinued production on it. If they discontinue production on it, that removes it from candidacy of being KITT, right?
So exactly, but let's think about too the direction that GM is going in, which is an all electric by 2035, and there is one particular intriguing vehicle that I think should bear some consideration, and that would be the all electric,
the Chevy Bolt.
No, the Hummer, man. I mean,
so you'd go truck. You'd go like super truck.
Why not? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, even what about the Tesla Cybertruck?
It's too obvious, though. It stands out. Don't you want to be a little bit more low? I don't know.
I guess. I don't know. You want to be a sleeper like KITT was?
Well, it was and wasn't. But yeah, I mean, so or you go completely. You do new car, like you're in secret development on a new automobile, just like Ford was on the Mach-E, or GM was on the Cadillac Lyriq,
right? And
you don't say a word about it. And instead of making the announcement in a presser or like a media event, you do it in the movie. Right?
Yes, that would be. See, that's genius. Marketing genius. Hey,
because everybody's going to do this. Is what's going to happen, Jay, is we're going to be on this show. I'm going to go, hey, Jay, or we're going to be talking on the phone. I'm going to be like, do you see the trailer for this new Knight Rider movie? You'd be like, no. Oh, dude, check it out. They got some new car I've never seen before in it. You got to see with this thing, man. What is that?
Well, that's the funny thing about what GM has done with that platform, is that skateboard platform that they have, that they can put virtually any size vehicle body style on that thing. So it would make sense to draw from that platform. I think it's going to be all electric.
Okay,
I think it's going to be.
So let's get. I have one more. Like, just humor me for one more, y'all. Just one. I got one more crazy idea to throw at you. Okay.
I'm listening. Ready.
So, and I celebrated the day. I know there's going to be people that are going to hate me, but I just never cared for Pontiac. I just felt like. Understand that growing up late 70s, early 80s, those cars were dogs. Like Fieros, and they just didn't. It's just not,
It's the earlier lineage that you have, where like your GTOs and yeah.
And I had a girlfriend that had a red Firebird at the time, and it was just kind of a turd. So, but okay, before you hate on me for this, how about bringing back Pontiac with an all EV performance sports car?
Ooh,
and you do that in this movie.
Yes, absolutely. I would buy that. I think they would do it. There's already, look, don't say never, because it could happen. And I remember at a SEMA show that I was at, not a SEMA show, excuse me, a PRI show that I was at when it was held in Orlando. This was many years ago. And it was right after the Camaro came out. And they had already killed the Pontiac line. And everybody was saying, wow, they bring the Camaro back, but they're not going to bring the Firebird back. Wow. And so I get to the show, and there sits a Camaro that has been reworked, and it looked just like the classic Bandit. It was it was transformed into a Firebird, and it was really cool. So yeah, it's not out of the question. Minor mods to make it.
Well, they're bringing back the Hummer. Ford's brought back the Bronco. People are bringing things back.
Right. So if you want to be
dead, does not mean dead in the automotive industry.
If you want to market it, if you want to bring Pontiac back, Pontiac Firebird back, bring it back as an EV on this platform. There you go.
Come up with an all-new Pontiac.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Could.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. You could.
I'll leave that up to the people at GM to decide, or whoever. Anyway, all right.
Yeah. Okay.
So now we've got you all thinking. Thank you for watching. What car do you want to see, or do you think will be the next KITT? Place your bets now. Let us know in the comments. And thanks in advance, everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.